Let's discuss the limitations and attacks on cryptography. Cryptography is important for protecting devices that use less power and need to work quickly, but adding it can be tricky. Cryptographic methods take up time and energy, which can be a problem for devices with limited resources. For example, in small devices like smartwatches, using encryption to secure data might slow them down or drain the battery faster. So there's a balance between making things secure and keeping them fast and energy efficient. Let's talk about some common attacks on cryptography. One type is algorithm attack, where attackers look for weakness in the encryption method itself to break the code. Another is collision attack, where they try to find two different pieces of data that end up having the same encrypted form, making it easier to crack, I would say, the original message. And there are other ways attacks can break encryption too. For example, in a known ciphertext attack, they might already have some encrypted data and use it to try to guess the key. Another method is downgrade attack, where the attacker tricks the system into using an older, weaker encryption method. This makes it much easier to break the security. For example, if the system is using strong encryption, the attacker forces it to switch to an outdated version, let's say that's much easier to crack. These are just some of the ways attackers try to get around encryption and access sensitive information. Let's talk about two types of attacks on cryptography now. The first one, like let's say the collision attack. This is when an attacker tries to find two different pieces of data that create the same hash result or digital fingerprint. This is called a collision. For example, imagine two different files that, when hashed, they end up with the exact same result, which can trick systems that rely on, let's say, unique hashes. Then we have the birthday attack, which is based on something called birthday paradox. It's like this: a random of just, let's say, um, 253 people. There's about, let's say, 50% chance that two people share the same birthday. In cryptography, attacks don't need to find an exact match of data, just any two pieces of data that create the same hash. And it's easier than you may think. These attacks can weaken, let's say, security and make it easier for attackers, to break encryption. Quantum computing is a new kind of computing that uses qubits, which are special units that can be both 0 and 1 at the same time. This allows quantum computers to do many calculations at once, making them incredibly fast. For example, a quantum computer could solve problems that would take regular computers years of crack, all in just minutes. However, this also creates a problem for cybersecurity. Quantum computers could easily break encryption methods we rely on today, like asymmetric cryptography, by quickly factoring large numbers. Like for example, they could easily crack the codes that protect online banking. Okay, and to solve this, post-quantum cryptography is being created. These new encryption methods are designed to secure and to stay secure, I would say, even against the power of quantum computers, keeping our data safe in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and that's it for this chapter. I will see you on the next one. But before we move on, I just want to mention that I'm trying to adapt the content of my videos to better fit your needs. So some of you have asked about using my recorded voice, while others may prefer like AI generated voices. So if anything is unclear, or if you would like me to switch back to using AI voices or continue with my own, please feel free to let me know. Your feedback really matters. So as you know, in today's educational environment, AI can help make communication more accessible and flexible. So I'm happy to adjust in what the way works best for you. And thank you so much. Thanks again.